some meat from the grocery store. I know it's late, but
What kind?
I got a Wagyu, like sirloin, like a really small one, like 8 ounces or something.
What grocery store are you ordering that from?
Kroger.
Kroger's a pretty fucking solid grocery store, so I bet they have good stuff.
I like it. I usually either use Kroger or Sprouts, which is more of a hippie place, but has really good produce and.
I've been to fucking
meats.
Kroger corporate a million times, and they take their quality very seriously. They see it as their step up from all the competitors around them, and they do a good job.
Yeah, they do a really good job. They got a good meat section and good produce, which is what I care about the most at a grocery store, because everything else just comes in a box or a can or a bottle, and everybody's got that stuff.
Mhm.
But if I really want good groceries, though, I go to the DeKalb Farmers Market. I think if anybody's in Atlanta, go fuck. No, it's the International Market. Is what it is, and that's the coolest grocery store I've ever been in my life. It is so badass. They have everything you can imagine from everywhere on the planet. Their produce section is as big as a gas station. No, it's bigger. It's 2 gas stations.
Most produce stations are as big as a gas station.
Yeah, I know.
I was so underwhelmed by that. It's the size of a room.
Yeah,
they have tomatoes and lettuce.
Like they've got tomatoes as big as the sky.
Like
when tomatoes the size of baseball.
It's more than that. It's bigger. It's huge. It's huge. All right.
How many gas stations is it?
It's at least. I'm talking about the pumps too, though. Like it's huge.
How many gas stations is it?
1,000.
Whoa! Whoa! 1,000 gas stations.
If this grocery store is even special.
Dude, Woody, we got this grocery store here. They got all the vegetables. Tomatoes, zucchini.
All right, I'm looking it up.
Pickles, the rest.
This place sells Coca-Cola and Pepsi.
Believe it or not, you can walk to one more aisle. They've got an amount of chips the size of a house there for you to choose from. The size of a gas station, just the most mild comparison of any fucking produce department. Oh, I tell you, this shit was 15 by 15 if it was 1,000,000 square yards. They had vegetables I've never even heard of. You ever heard of a turnip? Not me. Man, they got turnips. They got something called a jalapeno. Don't even know what that is. Probably some Mexican shit. They got something called Brussels sprouts. Man, what a world. Yeah, no, how many vegetables do they have? Oh, you're not gonna believe this. It's called a carrot. And they got fucking bags and bags of them all out there.
Mini carrots,
flush with carrots. They make little ones. Sometimes you can buy a bag of shaved ones. Man, how do they grow the shaved carrots? Are they pre-shaved? Do they grow shaved? Anyway, vegetables. What else do they have?
What else does this magical grocery store have? They got everything.
They got this shit called kombucha in the corner. Yeah, kombucha.
Zach, could you do like a Google image search for the DeKalb International Market so I don't look like such a fool?
It's slower.
We're going to have to reduce the pixel size because it's going to be 1,000,000 billion feet wide.
What is it called? The DeKalb?
It's DeKalb, D-E, I think it's, how do you spell DeKalb? D-E-C-A-L-B? Maybe a K. I don't even know. DeKalb.
D-E-K-A-L-B. No,
Yeah.
That's the city in Illinois. Yeah, same thing in Georgia, though.
And then International Market, I gotta go blow my fucking nose. I got tears fucking falling. No, look, all jokes aside, although that was fucking hilarious. They have,
is it called the World Market?
Okay,
DeKalb
look.
Farmers Market, DeKalb World.
This is it.
World. Oh, someone found it. Okay.
Yeah,
that is
I
a
just
good
sent you
section, actually.
Okay.
That's pretty legit. I'm going full screen.
like So what I was gonna say was like I'm walking through the produce section. This and I don't recognize 40% of it. Like 40% of it is not like the things you're used to. It's all sorts of like
What kind of wild shit they selling at the DeKalb?
I don't know.
International
Lots of
Market?
weird melons and
How
long.
big are your
tube-
fucking gas stations, Kyle? That is an enormous gas station.
I misspoke. I'm high. God damn it.
Okay.
Are those no? Those have to be gourds. Are those bananas?
They have
No,
all
that-
sorts of like gourd like vegetables like that. Show some more, Zach. Like, do you have any more images? Like, show the fucking meat. Show the meat section now.
Show some more. Zach. You have to show how big my fruit stand is, so people don't think I'm a retard online.
How far is that place from you,
They
Kyle?
got
40
pears.
minutes.
They
40
got
minutes. So it's
apples.
not your local place, I guess.
No, it's where I go when I want to like cook for a girl or something, or like before I went to prison, I made a few meals that were like super fancy. And
Dude.
so I went here.
Pause that. There is a broken child in a grocery cart and a father repulsed by it. Are you looking at what I'm looking
I
at?
see it. I think maybe the kid just fell and he's like, ah. Like what
Well,
is
you
that?
That's
should-
not
you
the
shouldn't-
reaction to
You shouldn't
falling children.
recoil. God,
Yeah.
yeah. Woody, when Hope fell over like that, did you
Oh,
go?
I
how,
run.
Did you
I
go?
just let her
how
handle it."
How embarrassing!
That was kind of cringe.
Dude, bitch,
Kinda
little
cringe.
cringe.
That would be so shit.
That would be so. A parent telling their child that like acting out is cringe. That's the generation we're going to grow up with. Yeah, but you're right. That is what jumped out. That kid is flailing, and this is an unremarkable size of a meat station.
It's good, but not.
You're not seeing these pictures are
outstanding.
terrible. All right, so let me explain.
Is that guy
You're
wearing a hoodie instead of a hairnet?
You're seeing a fraction of it there. You're seeing a fraction of it.
But
They have.
Fraction is not descriptive.
You're seeing a fifth of the meat.
There's another whole gas station of meat behind that.
They have they have like they have everything. They have all these exotic things, international things. Like I don't know. I'd never been.
Carrots and tomatoes.
They had calf liver. Like I'd never seen calf liver or brains at a grocery store. They have calf brain for sale that you can buy, and like they have
Never seen that.
they have lobster tanks and crab tanks, and I think they do live shrimp too, maybe, or crawfish. But they have like every fish I can imagine.
Ooh, they got
Um,
live crawdads you can get.
Almost certainly, they have everything. I've
Do
never
most grocery stores have that? I feel like
crawdads live.
Most of them don't have
lobsters
crawdads
and
live.
stuff and live.
Oh,
I grew up in Ocean
lobsters,
City
yeah.
where that stuff was kind of normal.
Yeah.
Maybe it's normal everywhere. I don't know.
I see lobsters like in that tank sometimes when I go there. Being in the Midwest, if it's fucking in St. Louis, that must be around
Okay.
a lot of places.
Sure.
But
My favorite grocery store though, if you're in Atlanta and it's not too far away, definitely should check it out.
apparently, there is an issue going around of a high school team, a high school hockey team in Michigan or Massachusetts, celebrating Gay Tuesday and Hard R Friday.
What?
And people are upset about it, which seems outrageous. Seems like innocent fun. So it says, Gay Tuesday allegedly called for players to strip naked in the locker room, and with the lights out, some team members would touch others inappropriately. If you didn't want to take your clothes off, teammates would hold you down and forcibly strip you. On Hard R Fridays, the tradition was to allegedly shout the N-word on command with the hard R sound at the end. If a player was refused, he was held down and smacked in the face with the sex toy until he had a welt on his cheek.
I laughed over that. What would they do if you refused to say the hard R?
If you refused to participate in Hard R Fridays, you were held down and smacked in the face with a sex toy until you have a welt on your cheek.
Well,
It seems like they're just team building.
we don't call that a punishment at my house.
A group text chat involving more than half of the members of the team allegedly included deeply offensive words, images, mocking the Holocaust, and suggesting one of their few black classmates be lynched.
Oh my God. Kids,
All right, wait a
kids
minute.
being awful in their text. Call
You know
the
what?
news.
I bet if we looked at this, we wouldn't think much of it. I bet it's just. I bet they're just being.
Of course
goofy.
not.
Like-
It's
like-
kids
like-
being
like-
shitty and
it's
being
kids
like
being shitty.
it's kids being like ironically offensive.
because I'm thinking about like our WhatsApp chat, and I'm like, I'm checking boxes off as you're describing this hockey team, and it's like, I'm just kidding though. Like I think the Holocaust happened, you know.
They're
But
just memeing.
Taylor sent me a Travis Scott Holocaust meme. It was fucking comedy gold. I've sent that to everyone I know. I don't mention
it was hilarious. Yeah,
I told him I made it.
You don't give credit to me though, obviously.
But I told him I made it.
That's part of the meme economy, is just taking credit for things, sending it to people, and then you get to enjoy the dopamine of them laughing at something that someone else made on 4chan, more likely than not.
Probably. No, it's pretty dark. It's a picture of Hitler in black and white, leaning down. You know how those crowds always were at his speeches, seemingly, and he's leaning down and into the crowd to like touch someone or something, and the caption reads something like like Hitler 1940, like checking on a fan who went down in the crowd, making sure they were safe.
Hitler stops concert to check on fallen fans.
And dude, the sex toy was named the Pink Dragon, and every year the senior class will bequeath the Pink Dragon to a younger teammate to keep the tradition going.
Dude, all right, like, so I told you guys
funny.
why I think I've mentioned why I didn't play high school sports, and it was because I'd heard the story of the boy being raped with the Coca-Cola bottle on the bus, and I didn't want to be raped. And I felt like I was prime raping age, you know, coming in. You know,
Kyle, don't sell yourself short. You're still prime raping age. You got
I suppose we all are.
A few more years in you.
I mean, that's a graph that's interesting, right? Because the more years go on, the more rapeable I am. There's a point where it's just not even a challenge.
It's going to drop off.
Yeah. And convince me that you're my wife or something. I wouldn't know any difference.
So U-shaped graph. I think you're hard to rape right now.
Now, you know what? I think that the getting naked together for fun in the dark sounds like a good raucous idea, but stripping someone forcefully and hitting them with the dildo, you know, that's not making them better at defense.
Well, I mean, if they're not going to join in, you know, here's what I bet. I bet that team had a winning record.
It would be so funny if at the end it's like the Massachusetts Bullseyes continue their domination of the league at 42-0. We're not gonna stop Hard R Fridays, and you can't stop us.
Yeah, like at first I thought that like
Hard R Fridays. So
I thought that there was a school that had a Hard R Friday or something like that.
No, it's just a bunch of kids being shitty.
Because like we used to do that at school. We would have days, right? Like I'm trying to think. What were those? We would dress up and shit like on certain days. There was like camo day,
like field days and stuff. Yeah.
No, we would have like camouflage day, and everybody would know to wear camouflage on that day. And because we're in the South, especially, everybody's got camouflage, so everybody's wearing it. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to think of the other days that we would do because we did a lot of them. Maybe there was like a certain color day that you would wear,
like
or maybe
school color day or something like that.
Something like that. Like maybe everybody wore green one day because that was our color. But we would do shit like that a lot. That was fucking pajama. Yeah.
Pajama day. I remember pajama day.
Pajama day was cool. I had some sick pajamas.
So
I was the only one with that onesie with the button up back.
Can I show you? There's another interesting part of this article. On Fridays, the victim told the Globe, players were screaming the N-word, and on a Tuesday, an assistant walked into the dark locker room. This is an adult coach. Turned on the lights, saw one boy dancing naked in front of his naked classmates, and he turned off the lights saying, I don't want to know, and walked back out. So that's how the coaches handled it. There was a student representative talking to the school committee, and he blamed the adults for allowing the toxicity to continue. Kids are kids. Kids can change, but the adults in power must be held accountable.
Fuck that shit. Those kids are badass. Like
this person's being a big old grouch.
Dude, I want to get in one of those naked dildo parties that they have.
It's a normal. Every hockey team, you dance naked around each other. It's how you get better at scoring.
We do it in the beer leagues as adults. Dude, so you
guys had your boys like we had Hard R Thursdays. That's so weird. I've heard of like several real life instances of people sneaking into either homes or businesses and then living in the attics and coming down when the occupants are either at work or asleep to, use the facilities. And I don't mean just the bathroom. That's sort of like, that's what people say. I need to
like the fridge,
like everything. Like they're cleaning up. I need
cleaning.
No, they're cleaning themselves. Like they're
Oh.
getting little.
Oh, I was gonna say I could use an attic, dude.
Just an invisible maid.
Comes out of
Yeah,
that little
get up
door
there.
over there and
Get up
cleans
there. No, you can't have any clothes.
Yeah,
You're gonna trick me,
Yolanda,
you
she
fuck.
lives
I
in
saw
the
Harry
attic.
Potter.
you.
No, but these fucking creeps live in people's homes, and this is not an isolated incident. This is one of those things like Hammer murders, where the more
I've
you look
read
into
stories
it,
about this. Yeah.
the more you find like a myriad of them. And the business ones are funny. The home ones are terrifying. So like someone living in my house, I've thought about it before, or maybe I watched a YouTube video about an instance of it, and I had to go check my fucking attic. Like I was like, I got to know. When was the last time I was up there? Last summer, changing the air filter.
Mhm.
Let's change the air filter tonight. Let's go and get that done. I need to be up there anyway. Let's look around. I need to know there's nobody living in my fucking attic. That would scare the fuck out of me if somebody was coming down nibbling on my goddamn cheese like a fat girlfriend in the night.
Bitch.
She's been up, I think.
That
I would
actually
know
happened.
I would know instantly if there was someone eating my snacks who lived in the
No,
attic.
you wouldn't.
Yes, I know exactly how many snacks are in there when I leave for the night, and I'll know the next day.
Uh-uh. I have-
There were 3 cheese sticks remaining out of the 12 pack I ate 9 of, and now there's only 1. It
When,
couldn't be me high and forgetting I ate 11. It
That's
couldn't
what
be-
happens. So Woody, you don't know about this. You've probably heard about people who take like Ambien and like
Sure.
can get into weird
Roseanne
sort of
Barr.
mindsets. Yeah, she's just a racist though, and an uncouth comic,
That's
and a funny woman,
Side effect of Ambien.
and probably top 10 in the top 10 funniest women of all time. So racist. Aside.
I'd put her behind Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers is
Joan
the
Rivers is
funniest-
number one. Joan
She's
Rivers is number one.
definitely. Her stand-up is so fucking funny.
It's
Funniest
number one.
woman
Do you know about
stand-up
her-
of all time.
I don't want to go into a whole Joan Rivers things, but do you know about the 3x5 index cards that she had?
I don't. No.
Thousands of jokes, just thousands of jokes where like any scenario you could roll an X and have like 50 fucking ways to take something into a different direction. She turned comedy into math almost, or into some sort of like equation, like where it's like, oh, two guys walk into a bar. Well, here's 1,000 ways that can like split off into like different, but not something as simple as two guys walk into a bar.
Yeah.
What we were talking about before, Joan Rivers, Roseanne doing the
You're talking
the
about
Ambien. We were talking about
snacking and eating
Ambien.
food
so when back when I was in Franklin County, I was smoking a lot. One of the issues was I would wake up at night and I would sleepwalk is the wrong word, but I'm not all the way there either. I'm somewhere between sleepwalking and being awake.
Yeah.
And I'd go to the fridge and I'd start eating ridiculous things that like I normally wouldn't even eat. Like
Like a whole onion.
I got out a hunk of cheese one night and a roll of Ritz crackers. And when I left, there were crumbs. There were crumbses. There were crumbses on the counter.
Crumsies.
I didn't use a knife.
You didn't
I
use a
used a
knife.
knife.
You were just nibbling little bits and then
Yeah.
chasing it.
The
with a
next
cracker.
morning, I came in there and I was like looking sort of dumbstruck at like these crumbses and it looked like a rape victim on my counter. The cheese was all torn apart like Shrek ate it, and I was like, oh my God, did I get up and then? Of course you did, asshole. Who the hell else is getting up at 4 a.m. and eating a block of blue cheese and a roll of Ritz crackers? But now I don't have any snacks in my house at all. I've got my carrots and my oatmeal. Oatmeal is very bad for you.
Oof. Oatmeal's bad for you?
No,
I figured it was very good for you. That's why it's so flavorless and bland.
I add stuff to it, makes it good. That PB powder stuff. I like peanut butter oatmeal or chocolate
cinnamon.
oatmeal.
Cinnamon's good in everything, and you can't. There's no calories in cinnamon. It's just
There are no calories in
Cinnamon,
cinnamon,
right?
and it's a really good anti-inflammatory.
I did not know that about it. I just like the taste.
Yeah.
We're getting
yeah.
into cinnamon season now.
Are we? We're getting into what is it, allspice season? Because when everybody talks about like, what do they call it, like the pumpkin flavored lattes and shit, what they mean is allspice, because that shit don't taste like pumpkin. It tastes like allspice. It tastes like cloves and cinnamon, and not garlic. The other shit that's in allspice that I can't think of right now.
pumpkins.
Pumpkins are fucking useless, other than pie and pumpkin seeds. I like pumpkin seeds a lot, but like,
Those are
what
kind
else?
of the things.
Those
But,
are
like,
the things.
What else do you use it for?
I'm a
'Cause,
big
like,
fan of jack-o'-lanterns.
You
I'm
can
gonna be
do
honest.
a ton.
I
with
wish they were
apples.
seasonal. I wish they weren't seasonal. I wish we always had a jack-o'-lantern out.
I don't know. Well, do you want to talk about the AstroWorld thing?
So here's the thing about that. I don't know who Travis Scott is.
I didn't either, but I learned when I saw the story. He's a really bad rapper. Like the music is like, granted, the only experience I have with his music is watching clips of him still singing as people are dying in his crowd, but it is bad. It's
He could be
so
great.
auto-tuned.
See, oh, come on, you're getting the worst of Travis Scott. Maybe this guy's a real musician.
No, seems like a piece of shit.
I mean, those people. I mean, for what I hear, people are dying to watch him play.
Literally, yeah. I think you're right. At least nine people have died. A 9-year-old kid died, I think, yesterday or today. Zach was telling me before the show, which, like, I was wondering, like, who the fuck brings a child to one of these concerts? And then I learned that Travis Scott has his own Fortnite skin and character. And so it's like, yeah, this guy was clearly marketed to children. There's no getting around that. But, like, the most disturbing thing from this whole AstroWorld shit.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt.
Yeah.
PayPal says you have received $1 from Matthew Woodworth.
Resistance.
Woodworth always pays his debts.
I love it.
But anyway, there's this really fucked up video that we can't show it, obviously, but this guy, Travis Scott, is up on a cherry picker. You know how, artists will do, they get up there and it's like a surprising thing. I saw Coldplay in like 2007 and like they stopped the show and then they magically like started playing again like 10 feet in front of us, like in the middle of the group. Like they did all that. It was neat. But this guy's up on a cherry picker. There are huge crowds of people falling on each other, collapsing. A big reason for this is that they were sold out apparently. And he like tweeted like, we're still letting the wild ones in. And there are videos of thousands of people storming past security, just running into the concert before it even started. First of all, any of those people could have guns. They could have anything. You don't allow a concert
Drugs.
after that's happened. There was a crowd collapse in that video where all these people are running in. And because it's in a straight line, for the most part, and you're just running into it, there's like a huge pile up and you could hear people like and then they get pulled out and they keep going. But the real fucked up shit was at the concert. It's already been going awry for many, many minutes. People have drawn attention to him and his guys, the cameraman. A woman and a guy got up on the stage and were trying to shut it down. They were crowd members like, hey, people are dying out there. Stop the show. People are dying. They didn't do it. They didn't care. 2 people from Travis's own kind of like posse or his team come out to him, say something to him in the middle of the show, ostensibly about how we should probably shut this down. And he says, I want to feel the ground shake as all this,
That's my
as
favorite
all
line.
this stuff is happening. But there's a really upsetting video where it's like the aftermath of a crowd crush and people are still injured, very, very hurt. And 2 workers there are carrying out this guy who has both of his legs clearly like shattered.
Yikes.
Like and he's dead. It's a dead body. They're carrying a dead body out and this person's filming it and filming up at Travis Scott. And he's staring directly at the body being carried away at his show and singing through auto-tune going, yeah.
So
Literally
crazy.
it's so fucked up and upsetting. And for them to come out afterward and be like, oh, we didn't even know. No, you fucking knew, bitch. You knew. A million artists have shut down shows for way, way less than that. At the level of the Adele has shut down shows and been like, there's someone in trouble right there. Do you think there was a mishmash of 200 people or 20 people being crushed at the Adele show? No, it was one person who fell and she shuts it down immediately. The guys from fucking Five for Fighting, the guys from the Foo Fighters, everyone does this. This guy watched it
saw
happen.
Tim McGraw threaten to kick a guy's ass once.
I'm sure it's like a norm for these
Stop
performers.
touching that woman. Get your hands off her.
But yeah,
Come down
he
and whoop
already
your ass. And the whole crowd's like, yeah. and meanwhile, it's like, do you really want to be the guy who just randomly sexually assaulted a woman at the front row of a concert, and now Tim McGraw just threatened you to whip your ass in front of 15,000 good old boys who are all his fans, who are wearing the same gang uniform those guys from the Yellowstone wear. They're all dressed in that
Tim
same fucking
McGraw
uniform.
seems like a pretty good guy based on that. This guy Travis Scott seems like an absolute garbage
Tim McGraw's
piece of shit.
Tim McGraw was at a concert once. I want to say maybe Faith Hill was there. Faith Hill's his wife, if you don't know. They're both very big country music artists. They were two of the biggest, like in their prime in the 90s, and they're married. And but I remember he had one of those stages where there's the you got to, you know what a stage looks like, but there's that pier that kind of comes out into the crowd in some instances, so they can kind of walk out and be completely surrounded by the crowd. And he was kind of leaned down or something, and a woman from the crowd, I don't remember what she did to him. She grabbed him in a sexual way, though. She groped him. I think that's accurate. And he slapped the shit out of her. It was beautiful. It was like, Tim McGraw slap a bitch. He's not playing any games.
You can we cannot watch this on the show, but you guys, while I'm talking about it, you can watch it briefly for the next 22 seconds with volume. It's called Travis Scott Sings as he watches security carry away one of his fans' lifeless body. It's got 53,000 views. So watch this with the sound and confirm for me and apparently everybody else on the internet other than his hardcore fans that he is absolutely looking at this guy as he's dead, dying, being carried off, singing into the mic.
He is. When you first described that, I pictured him, I don't know why, like 400 feet in the air. And it's like, well, you don't know like what he could see and what he couldn't. That dude is like 30 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Like he is not unable to see that dead body.
He's
that
watching
dead body.
it.
He's
You guys know
watching
what
the
people are
dead
saying,
body.
right?
What?
So I think you both are like, damn, this Travis Scott guy, real piece of shit. The internet has taken a different view of this.
Go on.
There's something fishy here. This Travis Scott guy is into demonic forces. He was doing a ritual. There are a lot. Look at the comments of that video right there. There are a lot of people who believe that Travis Scott.
I read all about that. That was like taking that was like staring into the abyss and feeling the abyss staring back into me. Where like it wasn't enough to be like, yeah, this guy's an absolute garbage person who watched people die, who encouraged people to break in and make this more dangerous for people who bought tickets. But people going like, there were 8 flames on the stage and 8 people died. There are 9 now. Shut up. That doesn't count. That doesn't count.
But it was creepy.
And the tunnel was meant to make people feel like they were in hell. And it said, see you on the other side. He clearly meant to say, see you on the other side, dead person. And it's like, no, that you don't need to go a million miles just to achieve your point. I don't think he's like worshiping the devil.
I prefer it if he is. I think what I wonder is like,
it'd be funny if it
what's
came
going
out
to happen to him. I wonder how culpable he is for all of this. I'm imagining
a little background thing for you, Kyle, before you go into it. He also got in trouble for encouraging a fan to jump off of a really high bit of scaffolding in a 2017 show, screaming for him to do it. The guy did it. He's paralyzed. He's encouraged people to rage. He like, one of his things is like, I want wild people there. I want them like, and it's not like moshing like at a metal concert where like someone falls and like some guy in a Harley Davidson jacket goes like, get that lady up. Like, no, it's like people trying to harm each other, it seems like, in some of these raging incidents.
Well, you know what? I would avoid those concerts as a intelligent human being the same way I avoid a lot of dangerous scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure how I feel about people who chose to do an extreme activity.
This
which
leads to my next topic.
Yeah. I mean, if anything ever happens to Woody, we're all going to feel bad. But it's like we're going to look at each other and shrug and be like, I mean, how many times do we talk about this?
Do you think that I think that Travis Scott is in himself culpable for a lot of this because of what he curated, what he encouraged, telling thousands of people to break in, like as if that's not dangerous enough, like just to be edgy, just to be wild. So like, yeah, he clearly is culpable for this. He immediately refunded all 50,000 people who paid for it because he knows that's going to be a thing. Like, what venues are going to let this guy play?
Oh, I would want him so bad. I would definitely want him at my venue. If it's insured, who fucking cares? Yeah. Because yeah.
What are the insurance rates going to be for a guy who had 9 people die at a show?
I mean, get a quote. Let's find out because I bet it's going to be fucking sold out. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, let's fucking find out. Do we need to like? I mean, I get it's merch involved. Do we need to take another percentage of that? Like, but we can get a Travis Scott concert. I'd have a Travis Scott. Look, if you go, you know what you're getting into. You know what you're getting into when you go there.
Really, because like apparently he appeals to like people in their teens, early 20s. They buy a ticket and then thousands of people rush in. It's overcrowded. Crowd management's horrible. There's this one video of this black guy who was at the show and he's like telling his experience and he's like I don't think he's acting. He seems legit torn up about it. He's like, I was down there and I don't want to exaggerate, but it felt like I was in hell. Like you're moving, there's a writhing mass of bodies. You can't lift your arms, you can't move. Like you're like pushing out so you can get your lungs to expand enough. You're breathing the hot air of other people's exhales, and meanwhile people are screaming and no one's stopping. Like there's the clip where all those people are fucking knocked down, and then everybody's like, stop this show, and Travis Scott's like, all right, next song is like, are you kidding me, dude?
Now we're gonna do a song I call Yeah.
Yeah, I call it Yeah. Bring out that guy and marionette him around for me. I get off to dead people. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. A 9-year-old died.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. The tweet's interesting too. It seems like I don't know. It seems like it should be on the security, right? It seems like it was their job to make sure that like people didn't come in. I mean, I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out. I think he's more likely to be in trouble in some sort of civil suit than he is to be charged with something.
Sure. Yeah, that
because he's culpable, but I don't know if he's guilty of anything. He's culpable of a lot. I don't know if he's guilty of anything.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I mean, he's guilty in a moral sense of intentionally creating a situation in which people are likely to be harmed.
What was that word?
Encouraging that? What?
The M one.
I don't know.
Oh.
Moral?
Yeah,
what?
Moral. Oh,
like a mural?
Yeah, like ethics.
Like a mural?
You know how ethics work, you fucking psychopath.
No, he's in trouble. He's in trouble though, one way or the other. Yeah. And I can't believe he didn't stop it. It almost seems like he gets off on seeing people get fucked up. Give him the benefit of the doubt, though. It's not like he's got an EKG machine up there in that cherry picker. He didn't know the guy was dead. For all he knows, the guy's unconscious or something. They weren't like, he's dead.
He did give a quote. Let me try and find it, where he said that he likes seeing blood at his shows.
All right. I mean, I don't like that tweet.
It's hard to defend that one in the context
That's what you
of
call
this conversation.
That's what you call a bad tweet.
What is it? Is it this one? Yeah. He said he talks about his desire to see bodies / blood when he's performing, but not his, obviously. So someone else.
He never crowd surfs.
He seems like a fucking ghoul. Oh no, he did crowd surf. He crowd surfed. You know when he did stop a show? He stopped a show when he was crowd surfing and he lost one of his shoes, and he told the crowd to beat up the guy who had his shoe. He stopped the entire show then for the shoe, but not for this. So this guy is garbage. He's
Somebody
a piece
pulled
of
his
shit.
shoe off.
Yeah, or they didn't. It's fucking crowd surfing. You don't know what.
I bet I guarantee.
I bet someone did pull his shoe off.
Because I was watching. I don't want to ship topics.
Sick people on
them. Yeah, it's fucking wild. 9 people you say are dead now. Do we?
Yeah.
You don't know the ages roughly. Were there any children or
it was
people?
Yeah. The youngest was 9 to 27. I think were the ages at last count. And like watching the videos, it seems remarkable that only 9 people died.
I
want to know where the 9-year-old's parent
saving
is.
his fiance.
Oh.
Yeah, I did hear about that. That's horrible.
Yeah, but it's also literal hero shit. Like
I bet she wanted to go to the show.
She's a little beaten and bruised up, but I guess he was successful in that he saved her.
Oh, that's so sad.
Well, good for her.
I would be like, you wanted to come to this fucking retarded show, and we're both dying.
It depends how well I know her. I may use her as a boogie board by the end of my escape.
Those metal bars at the front of the concert thing, like you know how usually they pan across those with a camera and everybody's going, whoa, yeah, we're having a great time. Every single person is like, like they can't breathe. No, it's like a slatted iron thing, and it's the metal comes up to about like, you know, if you're one of our heights, probably about your sternum, but for a woman that's very high.
So you could jump it in theory,
but not with that amount of pressure. Like they showed the bouncers trying to pull one guy out, 2 huge bouncers trying to pull one dude out from the very front, and it was like he was so pinched, it took them 5 minutes to get this one dude out.
Fuck.
And they're like probably breaking his shins as they're pulling him over the thing because of the amount of
They
pressure
pulled him
being
up
exerted.
foot first. Jesus.
No, I'm saying like by the time they pulled him up that far and his shins are in front of
I
that top
see.
bar, it's getting
Oh
hammered.
man, look, this thing is hitting me kind of weird, right? Because I hate outdoor music concerts
I don't like
and
concerts
indoor
either.
ones as well. Music festivals. Look, I love music. I love it. I've got good taste in music. I mean, everybody loves my playlists. They're great, but I have so little. One of my least favorite things in the world, aside from the beach, is I just remember being taken to this outdoor music festival concert nonsense one time and standing in the heat under the sun in a crowd of people with no weed and no alcohol and just listening to someone play over bad speakers a song I'd never heard before that was just passable at best. Standing, I've already been standing 3 or 4 fucking hours. I had to walk 2 miles to get here because you got to park so far away. And I'm just like, is this hell? Is this hell right now? Like is this it? I hate it. So when I hear that some parent sent their 9-year-old to a Travis Scott concert and then like
No, the parent went with them.
the parent didn't die though.
The parent didn't die. He was using a little tactical shielding, I think.
Yeah, kids makes a hell of a shield. You don't
Not
want to
for
hit it at
long.
first. Wow.
Yeah. But it is
Fuck.
wild. Like there's like it got me into like a Wikipedia like internet research of like crowd crushing events
Oh,
and
not
stuff
that.
like that. There was some horrible one in England, like not in recent history, 20 years ago or so, where like 97 people died being
gonna
crushed up
guess
against a fence.
Football game.
It was either that or some kind of race. I think it was No, it was a football game. You're right. Yeah, it's insane. It is insane that like, and then I saw people hating on it online because like CNN or some news source like posted a video about it being like, watch the moment Travis Scott stops the concert because of injured fans. And it's like, and everyone's like disliking, like, are you retarded? Like you stopped the video right before he said, nah, fuck that. I want to feel the ground shake. Like, yeah. Yeah.
That's
They cut
a
it right
serious false
before.
narrative.
Yeah. They were like, oh, he like slowed down and then,
What were they
no,
thinking?
I want to feel the ground shake. There's people. There's an ambulance. You can see it in the crowd. It's trying to drive through, and he's encouraging fans, going, "What the fuck is that?" Nah, whatever. Next song, and his fans are jumping up and down on the little ambulance. Like the ambulance people are screaming in videos, like, "Stop! We're trying to get out." Like it is beyond fucked. So it feels like the kind of thing where they'll make new rules about concerts, but also the kind of thing where, no, we already have all these rules. It's because this person didn't follow. You know how fucking, I don't know, U2 is able to have concerts with, or you know how Metallica can have a concert with
Because all their fans are
5
over
times
40.
as many people. Yeah, that's true. Or why Metallica could have a concert with 5 times as many people in 1987. Well, because they were following things like regulations and rules and crowd structuring and all that. It's sad. Like people showed up there thinking they were going to watch horrible music for an exorbitant fee, and they died.
They just wanted to be ripped off.
Just rough. It was very, very sad. Now, I'm no genius, but decriminalizing theft under 1,000 does not seem sustainable.
Why?
I tried to like fact check you on this. I know people love it when I do that. It appears that you're pretty much right. If they don't have a record already, if it's less than 950, it can't be a felony. That's the scoop. So I guess it's a misdemeanor under 1,000 unless you already are a felon.
Yeah.
Shit.
If they even prosecute it.
Yeah. It just I don't understand the
That's
thought process.
insane. You can get a ton of great shit for $1,000. We should move to California. Oh man, I would steal
camping equipment,
gift
over
cards.
here.
I could steal the entire pallet of Cheez-Its from Costco. And that would be like theft under 300. Like
I want a new warm weather sleeping bag. I bought a cold one. That's what I want.
That's what you see. You see all this rioting, and it's like It's Always Sunny with Frank, where you just see Woody walking out with camping equipment. Is that Woody with camping? He's very well off. Why is he doing this? Man, I think things are tougher than he might let on at the Woodworth home if he's stealing camping equipment in California. We should all take a vacation to California, and each of us can all steal under 1,000 to get. Or okay, Woody and I can steal under 1,000.
Yeah.
and then we can blame it on the felon.
Who are they gonna believe?
He told us that he'd rape us if we didn't do it.
He's the mastermind behind all of this.
Don't trust him. He's tricky.
Don't frame me up.
Don't frame me up.
Frame me up. Jesus Christ.
What a hilarious end to the show.
So we framed him.
All for a sleeping bag.
We frame him for just a minuscule amount of shitty goods that we stole.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. It always strikes me as weird. I know Mitty had a shoplifter that he had to tangle with the other day. I think he arrested. Yeah, he got into a physical altercation with some guy. He sent me the video.
He's
of it.
a big man, right?
Yeah, Mitty's like 6'5" or something. He's a big dude.
Yeah,
but he's young and not naturally like aggressive, wired for fighting, right? Am I on target still?
Yeah, I think so. But I don't think his opponent was exactly Frazier, so it didn't matter. It was more of like a broke down thievery suspect that was getting rowdy. He sent me a video of. I gotta find it again. I want to see what he said. It was.
Yeah,
silly.
I would love to see the video of Mitty.
You want a minute? And I'll change topics in the middle.
Yeah.
Taylor, would you rather be 6'4" with a 5.5-inch dick or 5'9" with an 8-inch Magnum dong?
Oh man, 6'4" is like such a cool height to be.
Yeah,
that's huge.
The only
you're a big dude.
I think a 5.5-inch dick is fine. I think that if guys could choose their own dick size, they'd all get it wrong. They'd all choose 8-inch Magnum dongs, and girls would be like, "Bro, this is a lot." Now we're having sex every 2 weeks while I recover.
I'm definitely more tempted by the 6'4".
Yeah,
that's so tall.
The only challenge is, how does 5.5 inches look on a 6'4"?
Horrible.
Right?
It looks embarrassing. It would be bad. But if she has any lip, I'm 6'4". Pop!
There's more where you came from. I'm 6'4". I can get anyone I want.
Yeah, I can get anyone. I can. So like just being 6'4", that would be pretty tight. 5'9", that's not a short height by any stretch.
Right.
But I don't want to be.
I want to say
3
is
inches shorter
in America.
Yeah, I think that's probably right.
So,
but I like being.
It's funny. He whipped out a 5.5-inch dick as like the micro penis, and 5'9" as the manlet. What is this guy working with? That those are terrible numbers to him, right?
Yeah, like it should have been 5'4" with an 8-inch dick, or 6'6" with a 5-inch dick. 4.5 at 6'6". That's gonna look hilarious.
Yeah, 4.5 is getting to be a little like outside the bounds of normalcy.
Yeah, and then, but also 5'4". Think about that. That's well outside the bounds of normalcy for male height.
Well, it's outside, but you see it every day.
I don't know if I see a 5'4" guy.
I don't, because I hardly see other people. But if
all right, as the one of the three of us who leaves the house, I'll tell you, you don't see a 5'4" man every day. When you do, I always think like I have so much empathy for that. I'm like, dude, this guy's 60, he's 5'3". Imagine the bullshit he's put up with in his life, like
I
just
definitely
the bullying.
Had a 5'4" coworker at Cisco. There'd be 5'4" guys at the end of high school, seniors. Like that's a thing that happens.
But those guys, those like end of high school seniors, they all tend to shoot up. Like you were probably not near your full height at the end of senior year, right?
I had a little more in me, but I don't know, not near.
Oh, okay. No, maybe you're right. I just like when I see a guy who is that short, I always like empathize. Like that has got to be so fucking rough. Like you get judged, people bully you. No, like women aren't treating you seriously. No one's giving you respect.
You can't stand up for yourself because then you just have short man's disease. And by the way, you literally can't stand it. If the guy is 8 inches taller than you, that would be 6 foot. Did I do that math right? I did, yeah.
Yeah.
If he's 8 inches taller than you, you would have to be something special to be able to beat that.
Yeah, you'd be fucked.
Barnacles.
That's a
Barnacles.
former guest.
Great horse, terrible guest.
Oh, stop. I feel so bad. Our fans destroyed him.
I don't care.
I don't care either.
He's a nice guy, though. Like
Is he? I don't know him.
Is he the guy that
How
said
often
that
do you hang out with
he's
Barnacles? When's the last time you and Barnacles sat on the couch together and had a beer? I don't
That's
know what he's
never
like.
happened. But he used to write me on Skype every now and then, and he has a special needs kid, so we would talk about that sometimes. And
It's cheating.
he's just working his way through YouTube.
he was a nice guy, and I liked him as a person. I just didn't like when he said that he hunted for his food
Which time didn't
in
you
the
like?
woods. Is it? Am I getting my wires crossed? That is
No,
the
I'm
guy who
teasing
said
you. He said it repeatedly during the show.
Wasn't
if that guy
sweaty,
hunted
too?
for his food, he is
You know
a
what?
tremendous
When I-
hunter.
When I picture it, they say those small cats are
Oh,
the
there's
most effective hunters in the world, but no, it is Barnacles. More than 95% of his hunts.
There's
Can't
a
be
herd
bad
of-
person
end
for
with a
laughing at your
meal.
jokes.
There's a herd of jelly beans over there. I'm going to shoot them.
Luckily, he does most of his hunting at McDonald's.
Yeah, there's a wild Reese's egg.
I don't want to be part of this conversation.
Quickly harvest the Reese's eggs.
Oh.
He had to climb. He had to reach real high to get on top shelf to forage.
There's the top shelf to four. Dude, if I had to survive in the wild and like I could not maintain my macros. How am I supposed to-
I tried it. I couldn't maintain anything. I
Fuck your
I-
macros. You're lucky if you can get anything. If there's
Yeah.
anything at all to eat, you're lucky. Like you almost
How is
need
there
to.
no life in the woods?
There is.
because-
That's just life that's smarter than us that knows to quiet down when a bunch of giant bipedal idiots start romping through their living
Yeah.
quarters. They leave.
That's a big part of it. Like we were loud and smoky and
At the camp we were, but you went off hunting.
didn't matter. I honestly don't have a good answer. Here's what I would like to make up and believe. Here's my theory. I will say.
Okay.
I think the week or two before we went, like I did see a lot of animals. I mean, I saw so many
There were
squirrels.
many hunters that cleared them out just before we got there.
I think maybe like the season changed and the squirrels started hibernating right when we got there, maybe. But it was hot. That's a lie. There's no way.
It was so hot.
That's
Yes.
inaccurate. Then I
It would,
remember
like, barely
sweating
move.
my balls off.
I remember you guys got mad at me one time. So here's what happened. The cars were parked kind of farish away. I'm
Oh.
going to call it like a 30 or 40-minute walk. And we had batteries that needed charging for all the camera equipment. So on like day 3 or something, we hiked back to my truck, turned it on, sat in the AC really, and charged batteries for a long period of time. Like
A couple hours.
Yeah, but a couple implies 2. I think it was more than that. It's closer to 4 or something.
Goddamn. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but that's how I remember it. And in my head, I was just doing a job, an easy one, hike and wait, and then come back. But that's how you charge batteries. What else you want, And I come back and discover everyone's very mad at me, and I'm like, what did I do wrong?
It was that like Chiz and I were sitting there sweating so much in our hammocks, and you just try not to move because like it's less hot if you don't move at all in the shade. Like eventually, like maybe you'll gain a degree of coolness by just sitting still. And we're sweating so much, and we're so hot and miserable. And I every now and then we'll be like, "Where's Woody? He's still charging batteries, huh?" And I don't remember how we knew that you'd been sitting in the air conditioning, but I think that just made us sad more than mad. It was just like that was an option. Shit.
It must have been
was it
hot because I
like?
remember the AC not keeping up all that well. The truck's only idling.
Yeah, I remember when we were initially planning the trip, and there was a lot of voices going back and forth. Lefty was there, and I'm sure we had like Hex or some other guest on. And I remember like trying to pick that date and me saying like, "Oh, October's hot though in Georgia. Like October's hot, like during the day, and even the evenings don't really get cold. Like nothing that a like cheap sleeping bag won't fix." And then like somebody was like, "Oh no," somebody talked over me, or like maybe my point didn't get heard, and I never brought it up again. Because like things just kept flowing over. I was like, "Oh yeah, what kind of hammocks are we gonna get?" And I just never thought about it again. And so we just planned for like October 15th or something like that. And I mean, it's November 11th right now. It just now started getting a little chilly here. Like during the days, it's like 60s, and at night, you'd shiver if you didn't go outside with a coat. But you're not gonna freeze to death. Like we should have gone in November, and it would have been so much more pleasant.
Probably would have. Yeah.
Even less food to eat.
How could
But
there be
0
less?
minus 0 is
Yeah,
still
I mean,
0.
we just need the muffin man and we can make it.
I don't care what anybody wants to believe. I was driving along, and that muffin man pulled alongside me, and I swear to God, he ran some kind of a store or something like that, and he was like, "We come out here and we give these like day old muffins and stuff to the hikers and or the campers and stuff," and I was like, "Well, I am not going to turn down like a giant tin of muffins and like a dozen M&M cookies."
Yeah, it was a good move. I think it kept us going. I didn't believe you at first because it's hard to believe, right?
It's an absurd thing to say.
People don't just walk around the woods and give out pastries.
We're out in the middle of nowhere.
But then the cameraman, I think his name was Patrick, was like, "Yeah, I saw him too. He was there. I turned down the muffins." And it's like, "You bastard!" Of course, the cameraman ate. Of course, he turned down the food.
That's right. He had food, so muffins weren't nearly as appealing to him. I remember. I don't remember what kind of muffins they were anymore, but I remember the M&M cookies. I remember them being really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
The muffins might have been like chocolate chip. There were mini muffins too. I think they were really fucking good. That counts as foraging. I've said it before. I'll say it again. That's foraging right there. I hunted and I gathered and I brought food home for the entire group.
Yeah, undeniably. Like better than a deer, quite frankly. If you asked me to choose, I think I'd have picked the M&M cookies.
I mean, the deer would have been more impressive for the camera, but like the cookies just kind of come out and
they're morale builders. Would you do another survival trip?
That's what I was about to say, man. I don't know.
I forget. We had a sponsor deal. What did we make like 6K or something? I don't recall. It was something though.
Yeah, what it was is they wanted to deal with FPS Russia, and
right,
and I didn't like how that deal went down because like I didn't know that Kitty had turned them down multiple times, so they did kind of a sneaky thing, like going around her. It's fine, it's whatever. But yeah, we had some kind of
that detail until just now.
It's fine, it's whatever. But because I wanted to back out of the whole deal, but it was like I'd have to give back like all that money, and like you guys would have had to give back the money too, so I didn't want to do that. But anyway, yeah, we had a sponsor. We would need another sponsor because I don't enjoy it. It's not fun. And I think the whole point is that it's not fun. It's like when you say like, "Oh, we'll do something not fun on Twitch for, if we raise this much money." Like, people know what they're paying for. They're paying for your suffering. So
how about Carhartt? That might be a nice
if you
sponsor.
nail Carhartt, we'll go on a survival trip every fucking week. Are you kidding me?
You know what? I'm going to reach out to Carhartt. So me and two of my retarded
I'll just
friends,
move. I'll become a cow. You give me a Carhartt sponsorship. Like what does that even pay? Like seems like that's like $50,000 just forever.
It's got to be a lot. The difficult part is going to be convincing Carhartt that we have something to offer.
Oh yeah, we have nothing to offer. Don't do it, Carhartt. Don't do it. We're not your demo. But yeah, I would could be. I'm sure we cover a lot of demographics, but no, I don't want to do one. Is like the complete honest answer is like I don't want to. But that's the point. Is that we don't want to. And so, if you want to do a camping trip, I would probably do a camping trip, and I'm going to go. I would want to do the most like city camping possible. Or if you want to do a survival trip, I would do a hardcore one, but I would want to get paid.
Survival trip is suffering. Camping trip could be fun though.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
camping could be fun.
Camping could be a good time. Some fire, some s'mores. Like, I wonder if we could just do it as a live stream. Is there any
hot dogs? That'd be a good time. I would like that.
There's probably a way to live stream it. I'd like hot dogs too.
I wouldn't want a stream able to watch me eat the amount of hot dogs I do at a camp. Would be I don't want to be embarrassed.
Those over the fire hot dogs. There's probably a grill nearby. Yeah, I could do like legit like campsite camping.
Because I will wolf down like 6 hot dogs.
I picture Taylor with some specialized little fork that holds 6 hot dogs at a time.
Like a long. Oh, it's like a giant trident, but it's like it's like
2 tridents stacked. And, yeah.
No, you just find a stick with like 7 little spokes off it, and you stick them all on there.
Oh, yeah. I don't believe you don't have a collapsible hot dog skewer. I don't believe that for a second.
A collapsible hot dog
Yeah,
skewer?
you're like telescopic, and you've got your eight dogs on there ready to
I've
go.
had them for marshmallows.
I
I've
need
had them.
that.
Yeah, they work really
I
well.
definitely need that. I don't like s'mores that much.
S'mores are really
Not my-
messy in the
not my
woods. That's the
jam.
problem. Like if I'm gonna eat a s'more, like
They get in my beard. It's all sticky.
oh, that's a real problem. Yeah, I wouldn't want to. If
Mhm.
I had that beard, I wouldn't want to deal with a
You
s'more.
have to bring wet wipes. I don't. Not enough people bring wet wipes camping. They'll clean the s'mores off your fingers. They'll clean your butt like fresh. They'll clean poison ivy off your legs. Wet wipes are huge.
Yeah, I agree. I brought a lot of wet wipes last time. Although I don't think I shit in the woods last time. I'm almost positive I didn't.
You just join the beavers.
You just shit in the river.
Ah, oh, how awful would that be? Like Woody's there
What's it like to
Woody's like
shit in
I'm
the
gargling
just
the
water?
water.
bathing on it.
And I'm just ah!
What,
like,
have
like,
you-
like that shot.
what is it? What is it like to shit underwater?
You never shit underwater?
Like if you were to squat down in the stream and just fire,
Sure.
like what? You're not all the way clean when you stand up, right?
No.
You can be though. Like you kind of cup your hand and do like a jet wash thing.
Okay, I don't like it.
No, more of a like as you work in the squish, right? Like
I just
Mhm.
usually take
If
my
you-
penis and get it back there. And
there's that. I feel like if you just wade, you get a very weak action. You want to, go at
You
it.
just stretch your own penis back to your asshole and wipe with your dick. Nature's ass wipe. It's your
That's why it's there.
it's your dick head, the little ridge. It's meant to dig shit out of your ass.
yeah, same thing I do when I got an itch I can't reach. Just get back there.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a
with
spot
your-
in the
with your
center of my
penis.
back that I can't reach.
Can't get back there. You need help or your penis.
Mhm.
That'll
That's how I pick my nose.
It'll be ruined.
Oh,
Yeah, you have a
Warrington.
you got a dick like a hypodermic needle. It's just-
But 3 feet long.
it's three. He's like
3 feet
okay,
long.
my
It's
my
2 millimeters wide.
my dick is huge, but also tiny. It can get right into your vein.
Oh, I hate that.
I just came right in your carotid. You didn't even know because my dick is 5 feet long and a micrometer wide. So,
Yeah, actually, I've done carpet repair. I put there was a spot where I had new carpet put in, and there was a safe bolted to the floor.
Mm.
So when I moved the safe, now there's a spot without carpet. But back when I installed the carpet, I was like, hey, one day I'm going to move this safe. Cut me out a piece of carpet that'll fit this. And so I had that piece of carpet just rolled up, sitting
Did
there.
they do it perfectly?
Of course, they did it perfectly.
Nice. Nice. Well, as opposed to like
No, that's carpet guys. Like that's the. If you had a carpet guy who couldn't cut carpet perfectly, you'd fire him. They have to. It's just like the windshield repair guys. Like when they sit a whole like 200-pound windshield in your car, and you're like, man, if something's off a millimeter, it irks me, and this is perfect.
yeah,
I don't know how you've done this.
they do so well, and I've had them do like nicer car. My wife's car, it was like I think the antenna's built into the windshield, and there's electronics built into the rear view mirror, so it's not a super simple like just piece of glass.
Nope.
They have to get the rest of that
Mhm.
shit right too, and they did. I'm like, well, I didn't know that you'd be good, but it turns out professionals are good at their jobs.
Oh yeah, when I worked at the rental car place, we would get dings and shit on rental cars all the time in the windshield. And those Safe Light people were outrageous. You'd be like, "Hey, thanks for coming. Here's a fucking Toyota Yaris that some retard drove through a gravel field.
Mhm.
You know, how long is it going to take?" And you'd be like, "This is going to be a whole day thing." They're like, 11 minutes. It's like, really? And then you just watch them go, and like they do a little filler thing, and as you're watching, you're like, how does this work? How is this going to magically fill? And then they like kind of step in front of it, do some wizardry, and they step away, and it's like, gun to my head, I could not tell you where there was a crack earlier. They did so well.
Yeah, they do so. And I'm always so bad about just picking up the phone and call. I think it's 1-800 Safe Light. I think that's a fucking number. I'm almost positive it is. Safe Light
They're
repair, Safe Light replace.
Safe
Like I
Light's
know
good.
their fucking jingle. And calling them, hey, my $450 special windshield that has the heads up display glass, like it's got a tiny little crack in it. Come fix that real quick before the crack extends like a fucking spider web and I need a new windshield. I never do that. Woody was with me the last time I fucked up my windshield, and I let it like get ridiculous.
Yeah.
before I did anything. I didn't fix it until like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, or something like that.
Anyway, Woody, you were saying this led into something you were very interested in.
Oh, yeah, Zach, can you go to the first video? I have been chasing a trick for about 2.5 years now called the Infinite Tumble. This is the what the hell's the big one? Mount Everest of paragliding, like acro. Go ahead and press play. I think about it. I'm going to show me doing it in a second, but if you're not used to looking at like knee cameras, the perspective is confusing. This is what I did.
Ooh. Oh, come on now. Wait, is this guy Horatio Lawrence like really, really good?
Yeah. This is a pretty elite move. There's maybe 100 people who've ever lived who can do this. And in the paramotor world where I'm coming from, 5? Like I'm in a friend group of like 6 guys who've all been chasing this, and I got it first. I can't believe it was me. I was shocked.
I'm proud of you, man. How many times did you do the loop?
5 perfect. Here, let's go to my footage.
Yeah, let's see. This looks horrifying.
So you kind of like first you go sideways and then you go sort of at an angle until you eventually do like a perfect front
Oh,
flip.
okay. Yeah, that sounds easy.
So this is me, and you see that it's 49 seconds long, so I'll get there.
How high are you roughly?
I think it started the trick at like 2,500 feet.
Okay.
And
so
I'm not quite perfectly vertical yet. If you can't tell, but the arm that's off screen is pumping the brake, and the timing is.
You see the curvature of the earth.
Stop lying.
The lines go limp as I go over it. You can see like everything gets kind of loose in there. And now I'm holding on.
Loose.
Now
That's
I'm
so
perfectly
scary.
over the top. This is it. I've achieved like the Mount Everest.
What are you thinking in this moment?
So I'm thinking, hold on.
That's what I'd be thinking too. That's great.
The safe way out of that perfectly oriented front flip, I guess I'll call it, is you just don't pull brake, and then eventually you'll go from right over perfect off to the side in a safer configuration. And it's like, Woody, have some goddamn courage right here. Don't try to exit this. Let it exit naturally. And that's what's going on in my head. And
I hate it.
I love that.
That stressed me out.
Did you do that tandem?
No. People can do it, but I wouldn't.
I can't host the show by myself.
Look, I'm going to need you to start with like 150-pound bag of potatoes or something like that.
All right.
Get to the point where you can do it, and then we're going to loop-de-loop.
Oh, dude.
Do you get nauseous while you're spinning?
He only did. It's not like he's going forever. I mean, he probably got a little dizzy, but that was great.
A little dizzy, yeah. What more of it is when you train that move all day long, it's like riding a roller coaster all day long.
Oh yeah,
and,
you get drained out.
It can kind of add up and drain you in a bunch of ways.